Of offshoreinsiders.com. Joe Duffy's picks off yet another winning day yesterday in both the NBA and the NFL. I got a big portfolio for tonight. 13-5 Major League Baseball playoffs. That includes many dogs along the way. I got the Major League Baseball side for tonight. My first pick of the World Series, by the way. Monday Night Football total from your NFL specialist, and for NBA led by a wise guy play. Wise guy plays the strongest in the industry. I'm going to give you a free pick from the NBA from Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com. And then I'm going to give you the sweat barometer, who have been the best teams to bet on this year and who have been the best teams to bet against based on the margin of cover, or as some people do like to call it, the sweat barometer. Your free pick for today is Memphis in the NBA, -2 against Utah. Away favorites off of a loss under specific situations that do apply in this game are an outstanding play, especially if that team is not on a long winning streak and they're playing a team off of a home win. That's 227, 133, and 7. Of course, the records are against the spread. Away favorites versus a team off a very close win of 384, 271, and 9. And I do have a tightened up version of that does apply tonight. That's 355, 235, and 9. Finally, combining away favorites off of a loss versus teams off of a very close win are 78 and 39. Our official outlaw line on this game is 4. The outlaw line is what the line would be without any square moves. And 2 points, especially the closer it is to 0, is actually quite big when it comes to outlaw line differences. So Memphis is your winner for tonight. All right, let's look at the so-called sweat barometer. We were calling it the margin of cover going back to my score phone days, but these have been the best teams to bet on this year in the NBA. Cleveland is 5-1. They are covering by an average of 10.7 points per game. Oklahoma City is also 5-1. Again, these records are against the spread. They're covering by an average of 9.8 points per game. And by the way, these are listed on joeduffy.net right now. joeduffy.net if you want these stats right in front of you. Charlotte, 4-2 this year, covering by an average of 8 points per game. New Orleans also 4-2, covering by an average of 7.6. I'm not going to lie, I keep confusing myself which team has the Hornets. But yeah, the Charlotte Hornets and the New Orleans Pelicans. Portland 5-1 this year against the spread, covering by an average of 7.4 points per game. Would have been the best teams to bet against. The LA Clippers 1-5. Geez, and Doc Rivers isn't even there anymore to lead them to a disappointing season. 1-5, minus 12.2 points per game. They're failing to cover. Brooklyn with Steve Nash. A lot of sports books have Steve Nash as the next head coach to be fired. Of course, they got some nutty players. I wouldn't want that team. If I'm offered the head coaching job of the Nets, I'm publicly turning it down. I will not take the head coaching job of the Brooklyn, New Jersey Nets. They're 1-5, minus 10.3 points per game. And Golden State is 2-5 against the spread, minus 9.6. And if you do go to joeduffy.net, we kind of explain there a little bit more of how to use the so-called sweat barometer, or the margin of cover, and hopefully I have time tomorrow. I'll tell you what the best teams in the NBA this year have been, the best over teams, and the best under teams. But make sure you visit us also. Follow us on Twitter at Offshore Insider. Now note, on Twitter there's no S at the end because of the character limitations. The website is offshoreinsiders.com, but the Twitter handle is at Offshore Insider.